the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
All right, we're here now with a first-timer head football coach of the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. We've got Benson Napier with the beard. It's summertime, Benson. Or is it time to trim, cut it up for the heat, or are you keeping this thing going?
I keep it going pretty much year round.
Okay.
I'll trim it up at some point this summer, right before the season gets rolling, and then probably won't touch it again till after the year. I mean, if we lose one, I may trim it up then, but pretty much I'm superstitious. Wear the same thing every Friday if we're winning, and keep the beard going. Don't touch it as long as we're winning. So as long as we're having a good year, once it gets trimmed up this summer, it won't be touched again.
Have you always been a superstitious coach?
I have.
Yeah.
I like to stick to the same routine as long as we're winning, keep everything the same. So I don't know if it plays a part in winning or not, but I like to feel like it does.
What's your game day routine that you follow strictly?
Get up, get my kids ready, bring them to school. At 2:00, I always make sure I leave one of the iPads we use at home. 2:00, I'll run home, grab the iPad, stop by the Marathon gas station right by my house, grab a triple shot Starbucks coffee drink, a Coke, and a pack of gum, and head down to the field house, and then stay down here, get on the bus if we're traveling. If it's at home, be down here until it's game time.
That's a lot of caffeine. You're doing the Dan Campbell Detroit Lions thing right here.
Yeah, Fridays I do intake a lot of caffeine during the season. Probably shouldn't, but it's one of those that Fridays I feel like it helps, keeps me ready to go.
What's the best part of the Coalfield Friday game day experience for you?
I think it's just the support from the community. It's one of those, every kid in the school, it's one of the things we make sure students get in free here. The support from the kids in the school, because it's kids from kindergarten all the way to seniors in high school. I mean, you're in the same building. And then just the community coming out and supporting everybody, filling the stands each Friday night. It's just one of those, it's a special thing being at a small school and in a place like Coalfield that gives you all the support you could have. It's incredible to witness on Fridays our community come together all for one cause.
That's awesome. I mean, I'll also go ahead and tell you, I'm a little biased here, Benson, but Coalfield's uniforms, top notch. Like Coalfield, when you go up and down the best uniforms here in East Tennessee, you've got the right idea. You've got that. How involved are you in these elite uniforms that Coalfield is rolling out week in, week out?
Well, this year, we got brand new ones, white and black. So I sat there and copied it off of what North Carolina State does. They done it a couple years ago with Adidas. I thought it looked really good. The one thing on our black ones, I wish we could have done a little more white on the shoulder, but FHS rules say you can't have that contrast or whatever. But the white pants, we hadn't worn them since I think 2015. We brought them back this year. I think it looks good. And then we got the white helmet skins for the playoffs. And I don't know the last day. It's been mid-2000s since we had wore a white helmet at Coalfield. So it's one of those, check. The assistant coaches liked it. Kids loved it. So, we decided we're going to mix it up a little bit. I like to keep it pretty simple myself. At home, wear all black. On the road, white with black pants. That's what we did when I played. But kids like it. It does look very good. So it's one of those that deal with it. And it's this day and age, sometimes it helps to look good.
100%. It's the offseason here. We're taping this in early April. What's been different for you as a head football coach this offseason at Coalfield?
Really nothing different from last year. Keeping workouts the same. We got a fourth block group that lifts during the day that's mainly baseball players that aren't getting to lift after school. Then we, instead of running our workouts right after school, we've pushed them back to 4:30 so our strength coach could be here. Getting great turnout with that. And that's always one of those, you're worried about it because our kids are going to be able to leave after school and get back. But kids have done a great job showing up to work, getting ready to start spring practice up in a couple weeks. That's something that last year we brought back. The first couple years I was here, we really didn't have a spring practice because at a small school, your kids are playing everything. Numbers weren't great during the spring because we had so many guys playing baseball. So looking forward to going into spring practice. But again, it's going to be limited numbers, but I think it helps just getting stuff installed, just going through the basics of everything, technique and stuff like that, helping keep kids focused and ready to go.
I like that. When you look back at last year, obviously a super successful season for the Yellow Jackets, Benson, but what was the biggest challenge, the biggest obstacle that your team faced in your estimation?
Uh, Probably the biggest obstacle we faced was just numbers. I mean, it's
Mm,
one of those that I felt like we had a lot of depth last year, but that's relying on freshmen and sophomores to have to play a lot. Uh, but really, it's one of those at a small school, you're always going to deal like that. And I say numbers. We had 36 kids on our roster, which is really
mm,
good when we're the fourth smallest school in the state that plays football. So I
yeah.
mean, it's one of those that those are really good numbers, but just trying to keep kids fresh, keep kids healthy, and dealing with losing a kid here and there and having to change things completely. It keeps it interesting, keeps it fun. But I thought we did a very good job handling that. We lost our starting middle linebacker halfway through the year towards ACL, and it's small schools. When you lose a kid, it's you got to move a kid from here to fill that spot, but then you got to move maybe a safety down to outside linebacker to fill it, and you got to plug somebody else in there. So it's a lot of plug and match and getting kids to adapt and learn at different spots. And my defensive coordinator, Matt Jones, did a fantastic job of that, getting us adjusted, and we played really well defensively, even though we lost our leading tackler halfway through the season. But it's just one of those that probably staying healthy is the biggest obstacle we face.
What about quarterback? I mean, how are you feeling about going into this offseason with a new quarterback under center? Where are things at there?
Got a lot of trust in Jack. He got to play a lot last year. We know his arm strength and arm talent is off the charts, so we know he's very capable of making the plays through the air for us. It's hard to replace a guy like Luke that has started for 2 years for us, and he played 25% of our varsity snaps his sophomore year. So I mean, he was a guy that had a lot of experience, knew exactly what we were doing offensively, and he was a team player. He didn't care what he wanted to win, and he was going to do whatever it took to win games. And so that's hard to replace. I feel very confident in Jack. Jack can make any throw we need him to make. He's going to know what to do with the football, and he's going to make some big time plays. The challenge with it, and it's the same problem we've had with Cole Hines. We had it with Luke. They're baseball guys, so
Mm,
they're not at spring practice. So Jack's going to be
mm.
playing baseball, and we're not going to have our quarterback for spring practice. So that's one of those things that, again, you deal with. We're going to roll with it. I know his future's more than likely in college baseball, like Luke's was, like Cole's was, where there's going to be times in the summer they need to be going and playing baseball somewhere, and they're not going to be at a workout or a practice. And we deal with that. But I got all the faith in the world in Jack. Excited to see the year he could have at quarterback.
Is that helpful for a lot of quarterbacks? You talk about like kind of like this baseball pipeline at the position for you. Does it add a different element of ability for your quarterbacks to be two sport guys in baseball and football?
I think what it really helps is they're very good if they have to move around and throw. So if
Mm,
we do give up some pressure and they got to flood the pocket, or they're scrambling around, they can make throws from different arm angles. They're still scanning the field, able to throw back across their body. And it's just when you're doing it in baseball all the time, you can do it in football too. It's a natural thing for you, and it's not uncomfortable. So it's one of those that I think it helps us, especially in our kind of rollout passing game. It helps them because they're used to making throws on the move, and it's a good thing to have because they got arm talent.
I think it Oliver Springs where he had just an absolute 50-yard bomb into the end zone. Was it fourth down that he pulled that off? Do you know what I'm talking about off the top of your head?
Was it the game in the regular season there?
Yeah, I think it was a regular season
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I know the one you're talking about where he rolled around and then off his back foot threw one up
Yeah.
deep, and our tight end ended up wide open, caught it for a
Yes.
touchdown. Yeah, and I mean that's what it's one of those that you become used to moving around throwing a football or throwing a baseball, and it translates
Yeah.
onto the football field. So it's a good thing when your quarterback can make throws like that.
Yeah, it was wild. I encourage folks to go back because that might have been a rivalry Thursday game. Was that
It
a?
was.
Yeah, you want to go back and see it. It's one of the best high school football plays of the last year here in East Tennessee. I'm curious. So, if you could tell yourself, knowing that you know how the 2024 season here went, Benson, what would you tell yourself? One thing you can go back and tell them in week one that you found out later on.
Uh, ooh, knowing how it went, just keep playing no matter what. And our kids do a great job of that. We're going to compete for 48 minutes. It doesn't matter what it is, what the score is. We're competing for 48 minutes. And that's what I tell our kids. Don't get down in bad moments or when things go against you. Keep fighting, keep playing as hard as you can play. And if we do that, good things are going to happen. And I think it showed in our playoff win in the quarterfinals against the team down the road. Not giving up. Things look bad early. We didn't score in the first half. Then you're down by one with 2 minutes to go, and we turned the ball over on fourth down. But our kids kept fighting, made a play when they had to make a play. So it'd just be pretty much going back and saying that, hey, there's going to be points of the season where things don't look that great. Keep fighting and keep playing hard.
You only go down once in the regular season here, and we'll get to South Pittsburgh in a second. What happened in that one regular season game against the Indians that tripped y'all up a little bit?
Is we had to move it to a Saturday as the week the hurricanes hit and all the floods happened. So we moved it to a Saturday. It was a defensive battle. I mean, the way the conditions were, it wasn't going to be a night for teams to put up a ton of points. Two good football teams that went at it. I think Sequatchie made the play or semifinals in 4A. So it was, or in 3A, I guess. I think they got beat by Alcoa. But it was a very good football game, defensive battle. Made a decision. We were at our own 30, had it 4th and 2 with about 7 minutes to go in the ball game, tied up 14-14. Sat there and thought, these conditions are not an offensive person's interest. So we punted it back to them. They ended up running the clock out, kicking a field goal with no time left. Looking back, I would go for it on 4th and 2. Normally, that is, I like to try to be aggressive. Normally, I would have. Conditions wise, I tried to make the smart decision and came back to get us a little bit because we didn't get the ball back. But just one of those that very good game, two good teams going at it. They came out on top.
What was the biggest difference between how that game went and how South Pittsburgh went in the playoffs?
South Pittsburgh, we didn't execute when we had chances versus South Pittsburgh. We start off the game, starting running back, ran for 1,500 yards. He goes down second play of the game. So we lose him. Hayden Hedrick, our backup running back, came in. He had a great year. Probably should have got him some more carries. He came in, ran the ball incredibly hard, had a really good game against them. But we got down in the semifinals, fell down 3-0. We missed a screen pass with about 2 minutes to go in the half that would have either popped for a touchdown or got us a first down. We had a worst case went into the half down 3-0. We don't convert on it, punt it to them. They hit a big pass play, go in 10-0 at the half. We come out, get down inside, I think, the 25 on our first drive of the third quarter, down 10-0. Don't convert on 4th and 2. In the first half, we missed a field goal, had another drive down inside the 20 we didn't score on. We just missed our opportunities, and it came down to execution. We didn't execute moments we really needed to execute against South Pitt, and their kids made plays when they needed to make the plays, and that ended up being the difference in the ball game.
By and large, though, great season. South Pittsburgh, it's a tough loss, but by and large, just another great year for you. What was your favorite part of winning double-digit games again at Coalfield?
Honestly, my favorite part was just being around the kids every day. The mentality, the attitude they had. We had a very good, very special group of seniors who were committed to winning. They were going to do whatever it took to winning. And I will say Mason Smith, our offensive tackle, nose guard, he had an unbelievable offseason. I mean, he had his best offseason, and he got after it. He carried us up. At the nose guard spot, commanding double teams every week. But his attitude of he was going to bust his tail and do whatever he had to do to win. Kyle Wright came back home to us. He had been at McMinn Central. They moved back here to Coalfield. And just he was another kid that do whatever he had to do to win. Luke Treese, he went from, I think he had over 200 pass attempts as a junior to around 170-ish last year, roughly off the top of my head. But he took a back seat and didn't get to throw the ball as much as he had been, but he was okay with it because it was going to win us games. Levi Heidel was another kid that could have started both sides for any team in the region, was okay with playing just safety for us and being a leader on defense, getting us right, communicating, getting everybody in the right spot. and just showing up and busting his tail to win games, doing whatever he had to do. Eli Justice was another kid that way that had played running back up until this past year. He was our outside linebacker and tight end, and he didn't get as many touches as he could have got if he'd have been a receiver or running back. But he was okay with getting down, doing the dirty work, blocking on offense, and had an incredible year. Was defensive player of the year in our region. But just doing whatever we had to do to win games. They had a great mentality, a great attitude about them. They were great leaders, and that was fun to be around because you knew you weren't worried about kids getting upset because they're not getting to do this or they're not getting to do this. They showed up ready to go to work every day to do whatever we had to do to win, and that was my favorite part about that group last year.
I love that. What's the biggest spring summer position battle for the Yellow Jackets right now?
We need an offensive lineman to step up. Feel pretty good about we bring back 3 starters. Have another kid, Eli Burst, who played a lot for us last year up front, rotated in, that I think he's going to take another step forward and hold down one. But really on the offensive line, we got a spot we got to fill, and I'm excited to see these linemen. They're busting their tail in the weight room. They're going to benefit a lot from this spring because that's pretty much what we got. We got a few skill guys, but mainly it's linemen. And I'm excited to see who steps up to win that spot. And as an offensive lineman myself, that I love that stuff. So I'm excited to see who really has a good spring, summer, and then in scrimmages this fall, see who's going to make that step forward to win that spot.
Is that hard as just a former Tennessee guard and being an interior guy, Benson, to be in the head spot where you're like your eyes just go to offensive line play, where you're like, there's every other position, but like just because of that, just being your natural position, that's just where your eyes go is the trenches?
Well, up until this past year, I'd coached the offensive line. So
Yeah.
I was the head coach, but I was the O-line coach too. This past year, I
Mm.
let Braden Burgess, who had played for us at Coalfield, I let him take it over and coach it. This
Mm.
upcoming year, I'm going to be back to coaching the O-line. Braden has had a couple different opportunities to go be a student assistant at either, just a couple different colleges. And I
Mm.
think he's going to pursue that, which is an awesome experience and opportunity for him. So I'm going to be back to mainly focused on the O-line. That's what I'm going to be looking to see. But at the end of the day, you win and lose games up front.
Yeah.
If you can control the line of scrimmage, you're going to be very successful. And so yeah, naturally, that's what I'm looking for anyway. But definitely, we'll be back to mainly focused on our O line play this year.
Awesome. Do you like the new seating coming into the TSSAA this fall?
I do. I was a big fan of them changing up how the playoffs work.
Mm.
I mean, it's one of those that we play the same teams over and over. Our
Yeah.
region is one of the toughest regions in single A football. So most of the time, we're taking at least 3 out of 4 from Region 1. So
Mm.
you're getting rematches in the second round. I mean, 2 years ago, we played Rockwood the last game of the regular season, had 1 week off in the first round of the playoffs. You played somebody else, and then we played again in the second round.
Yeah.
So I like getting it mixed up a little bit. I'm gonna miss getting to see the team down the road twice in a 5-week span because that is a awesome environment, awesome rivalry. It's what small town football is supposed to be. So that kind of sucks. You're not going to get to see them twice that quick. But now, if you do get to see them, it means the game's going to be worth a lot more in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So it's one of those that I'm a big fan of it. It really benefits you to win your region now in terms of travel because
Yeah.
now in the second round, you're making a 2.5-hour trip somewhere where before you were probably hosting the number 14 from our region in the second round.
All right, non-football as we get you out of here, Benson. It's around spring break time. You can go anywhere you want to go. No, money is no object. Where's Benson Napier going for spring break this year?
Honestly, I'd have probably just went and took my kids out west to see the Braves play at San Diego and LA.
Well, it's
Uh,
good you didn't do that this year, Benson, because it's not been going well.
that would have been a rough experience. Would have sucked to see the losses, but it's one of those that probably. I mean, that's probably what I would have done personally. I
Mm.
know my wife and kids, they'd have been saying, "Oh no, let's go here, let's go here." They'd have wanted to go to the Bahamas or somewhere like that. But it's one of those that I've said when I retire, I'd love to go see the Braves play at every MLB stadium. So if money wasn't an object, I'd have went ahead and made that trip out west.
There you go. Do you know how many stadiums you've seen him at already, or you don't have a count yet?
I've only saw him in Atlanta right now.
Oh,
Get
you
to
got
see
a
him
ways
on
to
the
go here,
road.
Benson. We got a
Yeah,
ways to go.
yeah. Well, see, most of the time with it, I mean, during the fall, with football, I can't go see them pretty much
Yeah.
outside of Atlanta, or on the dead period, you get a little chance, but typically that's when we're going on vacation and I'm getting outvoted on going to watch baseball versus going to relax at the beach, which I don't blame my family on that. But so it's one of those that go down, catch them in Atlanta a couple times a year. And outside of that, I want to go see them in Cincinnati whenever they're there because that's an easy trip. But outside of that, it's not been too far to see them.
I love it. Benson, how can the good folks support everything you've got going on with your program at Coalfield this spring and summer?
Just reach out to us, and we take any support we can get. It takes everybody to help do this in a small town, so reach out to us, see anything we need, or just let the kids know, hey, we're pulling for you. Keep working hard; it pays off for you. Just really stuff like that.
I love it. Well, good luck this spring and summer, Benson, and we'll have to check back in again when the season gets closer.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.